for the special needs children to receive equal access to quality education, implement social inclusion, and help them develop their full potential, it is vital to incorporate special needs education in the general education system. Today, we will take a look at the education system in the Exiled Tibetan schools with regard to its approach to inclusion of students with special needs, development of special curriculum, training teachers and caretakers, and ensuring quality education to all students. We are happy to have Jamyang Wangyal with us today. Jamyang is the head of counseling section from Department of Education, Central Tibetan Administration. Welcome to our program, Jamela.
Thank you so much.
Jamela, could you please tell me what is the importance of having an inclusive education system for all children, including that of children with special needs?
First of all, greetings to all the viewers of Tibettv on behalf of Education Department. Well, coming back to your question, why it is important to have inclusive education. See, inclusive education is, a fundamental right. I'm quoting it again. It's a fundamental right of every child. And it has been stated in our basic education policy, also in Indian National Education Policy, and also in RT, which is Right to Education Act, where it says that all the special needs students have to be inculcated inside the normal schools.
Coming to Tibetan schools, what is the status of current intervention programs that provide educational opportunities for children with special needs?
See, Department of Education is committed in providing quality educations to all the students, regardless of their backgrounds and their abilities. When we discuss about the early intervention program, our department has been implementing various activities to meet the need of children with special needs. Once a child with special needs is enrolled in the school, teachers must be equipped to support them effectively. To address this, department has been organizing more than 50 online and physical teachers training on inclusive education, school-based workshop on early interventions. Then we have zonal-wise remedial teachers training, then online service teachers training on autism spectrum disorder. Then we have learning disabilities, then ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, then sensory integration. And also we have an inclusive education committee in a school, where those committee members were given monthly online training. And also we have a WhatsApp group where we have around 80 members, which includes teachers, counselors, parents, where we discuss the challenges they face in the schools, at their homes, and also what are the training needed for them. And also there's a school visit by our inclusive education officer. Just recently she have covered all the South Tibetan schools, where she have guided the teachers and does some assessments. And also we have been doing exposure visit for some selected teachers, where they were sent to Trivandrum International School, Kerala, which is inclusive school, so that they can get first-hand information, first-hand experience of how inclusive education or inclusive schools are maintaining. So this year what we are doing is for the regular teacher, we are giving them opportunities to do distance mode of education in special needs like diploma or B.Ed, so we can provide them some scholarship for them. But just training itself doesn't help. Therefore we provide various resources in the schools. For example, preparing a picture exchange communication card in Tibetan. Okay, so if the child is happy, he can just show like, I'm happy. If he's angry, he can just show like he's angry. So these are what we are making at the department, because the resources what we are finding in the markets are mostly in English and Hindi. And most important resource what we are providing is creating a barrier-free environment, building schools. So till now we have been funded around 11 schools under TCV schools, Sambato schools, and Masuri home schools. Now why it is important is because this is mandatory made by CBSE, that all the schools should have barrier-free school, which means the normal schools, they have a steps. So those students those child who have a physical problem, they can't climb on the stair. So for this we have to make a ramp, then railing, then toilet also according to their needs. And also we have a translation of adapted storybooks for those who have reading difficulties. So others about what we are doing is we publish Tibetan storybooks with regards to inclusion. last year we have published 2 storybooks and which have been distributed to all the schools and parents. And every year we are trying to publish two books, storybooks, with the story related with inclusion. And financial support, what we are doing is for the children with special needs is on aid and appliances. Those child who have a physical and visual problems, we help them with specs, hearing aids, crutches, wheelchairs, and surgical shoes. So till now, more than 300 child have been benefited from them. And also we have an awareness program in all the schools by inviting the professionals, and we send them to the schools and they talk to the child and the parents, where they will talk about speech and language difficulties for the parents and for the teachers at settlement level. Now, this month we have just finished the visitation of speech therapists in South schools, where they have given awareness and also they did some assessments. So those speech therapists were Tibetans who are working in Bangalore. What we have Dr. Mingma Dolma and Dr. Kalden. So we just finished the south phase, and maybe next phase we might target north schools or northeast schools.
So what we have learned so far, that it's not just about education, but the Department of Education is trying to provide the special needs on overall growth, right? Not just education, but also their health or their dietary charts or their commute back and forth. So with all of these, do you have a data on the number of special needs children we have in all the Tibetan schools?
It's very difficult to go on to data, because to have a data, the child has to be diagnosed first. So we have been just doing initial screening right now. So it's very difficult to say like we have like 3 or 10 or something like that. But we did some screening at initial stage. So that those data we can't say like these are the special needs students. So for this, the child has to be diagnosed by professionals, the psychotherapists, the special educators. So after doing that, then only we can have a data. Till now, we don't have such data like, we have such and such physical needs, such and such. Now, physical and visual, we can do that. But for like, autism, then learning disabilities and all.
So coming back to activities, with all these initiatives and activities, do you see notable changes in students who need children with special needs?
See, it's very difficult to see the changes at the visible level, because these challenges or problems are mostly invisible. But there have been some changes, and there have been lots of what do you say development in the child. Those who have a learning problem, now they tend to read slowly, and those teachers who are in schools, they are not special educators. First thing, we are training them so that they can, at least at initial stages, we can help the child.
Is there any individualized education practices or individualized education programs in practice in Tibetan schools? Also, if so, how effective are they?
Well, IEP, like individualized education program, is how special educators documents lesson plans for child with special needs. Therefore, it is certainly possible to plan IEPs in a school like TCV Chontra, TCV Ladakh, and STS Ponta, Pethion, sorry, where special educators are available currently. But in the mainstream schools, it is challenging for regular teachers to create proper IEPs, which requires skills in assessment, goal setting, risk analysis, and procedures. So nevertheless, regular teachers do plan lesson based on individual needs of the children in their schools, because we have been giving some online trainings on IPs, like if there are some childs in a class who has a problem, you can plan such things and such things. So also those teachers who need the guidance, so they come to our inclusive education officer, and she guides them how to prepare the small IPs.
Right. So talking about challenges, what are some of the major challenges for effective implementation of an inclusive education system, not just for children with special needs, but for regular students as well?
See, true inclusion is all about attitude and genuine willingness to help the child. Even with trained teachers, available resources, and barrier-free infrastructures, the scarcity of special educator remains one of the biggest challenges in the schools right now. Due to lack of special educators, Now, regular teachers often need to put in extra effort, extra time, extra dedication, and significant amount of their time to support these students because they have to teach their own subjects, right? And also, one more very drawback what I have to say is the stigmatization, the stigma in the society about special child, and lack of acceptance from the parents about the child's problem. This is the major issue.
So, as you briefly discussed, there's a lack of acceptance from the family or the parents, and also there's this huge stigma still in our society in regards to children with special needs. What do you think can be done, an initiative or maybe any training from Department of Education?
See, we are trying our best. That's why we are giving lots of awareness to the parents, to the teachers, to the childrens. Now, in settlement level, also we are going and talking to the parents, and also we try to identify some parents, those who have a special with some maybe a mild symptoms or major symptoms. So we call them separately and we talk to them.
Coming to parents, how best can parents stay involved in the growth of their children with special needs?
As I mentioned you earlier, family acceptance is the first and the most important step. Then stigma as in the society, as mentioned, so that the parents can pay extra, attention to the child's growth and development. Once parents recognize and accept that their child is falling behind in certain areas, early intervention can begin. Now, in school, teachers, do naturally provide extra attention and support the children who need it. But and also as a Tibetan teacher, the sense of care and compassion is for others comes naturally. However, it is important for parents to work closely with the teachers. Just simply relying on teachers while doing nothing at home will not lead to a significant progress for the child.
Right. So you discussed about acceptance, right? How can we as a society make it easier for parents to accept their children with special needs?
That's very easy. Like see them as a normal, treat them as a normal. Then only we can come out from this stigmatization.
Thank you so much, Janela, for coming here and talking to about us about the inclusive education system. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us on this discussion. I will see you in the next episode of In Conversation with Tibettv.